Hey y'all, it's Tyler St. Louis with the Alethea Homes Group. We mentioned yesterday that we were going to give you guys a video update on where the market's at based on the December numbers that we got in our email yesterday. Basically, those are year-over-year numbers. So they're comparing the numbers that we saw in the Kansas City area from December of 2022 to December of 2021. And I thought it'd be important to share some of this information just based on the fact that we're hearing a lot of things about the real estate market on the headlines in the media, the news, interest rates being up, all kinds of things that seem to make it sound like the real estate market isn't doing so well. But one thing I want to really punctuate is that we are just normalizing what we've seen in the real estate market in Kansas City and even across the nation is not normal over the last couple of years since the pandemic, even going back to pre-pandemic, which is what I like to say that we're doing. We're just going back to pre-pandemic levels. And one of the big indicators, if you go back and look at those numbers from December 2022 that we posted yesterday, is that the inventory is up, which makes supply go up. The number of sales from December 2022 compared to the number of sales in 2021 is down, and the days on market is actually up too, which would typically be indicators that prices would be coming down. Now, the only thing that we're seeing in regards to price coming down at all, which we're not seeing prices coming down at all. If you go back and look, you'll actually see that prices are up 6.5% year over year. So the prices are still going up. But what's happening is that we're normalizing in that we're still trying to price homes, or some agents are still pricing homes in such a manner that interest rates were lower, inventory was lower, and therefore homes were selling for much more over list price. So if you go back to a year ago, houses were selling on average for over 100% of list price. Today, they're selling for 96.5% of list price, which is still very strong for the real estate market. There aren't many other markets, if any, where inventory goes up as much as it has, where it takes longer to sell something, and yet the average sales price still goes up. So keep that in mind. Average sale price is still up 6.5% year over year. So if you bought a house last December, this December, you have 6.5% equity already in that house just based on sale prices in the area. Now, I also asked if you guys had any questions in regards to the real estate market currently, and I didn't really get anything in regards to the current market other than a question about the Northland, the old Metro North area, and if some of the development that's going on up there and the data center that's going in via Meta, if it's adding value to the Smithville area. And 1000%, anytime you see any new development going on, it's because developers believe that there's value in that area. Now, while the development is not going on in Smithville directly, there's still a ton of new development that is going on in Smithville. The new Price Chopper that's up there is absolutely fantastic. We're seeing new fast food joints going in, lots of new developments coming in, all of which are adding values. The renovations to the high school, the new elementary schools and stuff that are going in there are phenomenal. So there's tons of things going on in Smithville and across all of the metro that are continually increasing prices and adding value to the homes in the areas, whether it's in Kansas City or the surrounding areas like Smithville. So that Metro North development that they're doing with the tee shots and everything up around there, the Hawaiian Bros, all that stuff is definitely adding value to there and everywhere else north of there. So don't think that it's gonna take value away or draw people out of Smithville. Smithville is still a little bit cheaper to live than Kansas City, so it's still gonna, and the schools are great, so it's just gonna keep going, adding value, and the prices are just gonna keep going up there, in my opinion. So don't sweat that. I also got asked a question about how to get a tenant out of a rental property, legally or not legally. I've actually got another client that's dealing with this right now via a probate situation where there's some renters still living in a property where a landlord has passed away. And long story short, it's a pain in the butt. You're going to have to give them a notice. You're going to have to go to court. You're going to have to get an eviction notice that you're going to have to serve them after you've given them a notice. And then from there, if they show up to court and try to claim some sort of reason to stay, or they have the liability to stay there for whatever reason they might say, typically what's going to happen is it's going to get pushed to another court date to where they're going to have to figure out a lot. So it can be, if you're trying to end a lease early or something along those lines, it can be very difficult unless you have very, very, very good reason. So if you want more information on that, definitely reach out, but it can be a pain in the butt. Like I said, I had a client that went to court on the 9th, literally just 2 days ago, and the court date got pushed to the 30th, and they want to sell their property, and it's just been a really big headache, especially at the same when they're still dealing with a loss. So, whatever the situation is, it could be, something as detrimental as a loss. It doesn't get any easier, unfortunately. What else did I get asked? I got asked, I got asked if I specialize in cribs. The answer is yes, I do specialize in cribs, but more of the MTV cribs. But I do need to give a shout out to all you parents out there that are buying cribs for your babies. If you're not testing it out first, how do you know it's going to be good for them? I mean, they got your genes, so you got to have some sort of say and whether it's comfortable or not. So make sure you're testing out your kids' cribs too, not just your crib. And lastly, the most important question of all: cookout or Sunrise Biscuit Kitchen? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just know you're missing out. But it honestly goes to time of day, but I'm gonna have to go with Sunrise Biscuit Kitchen all the way, because it's just one of a kind. Hope y'all are doing well. If you guys have any real estate questions or need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. My name's Tyler St. Louis with the Alethea Homes Group. We're at Remax Heritage up by Zona Rosa. We service all over the Kansas City Metro. 816-716-6762, AletheaHomes.com. Thanks for tuning in.